Hello, my name is Daz. I'm 54 and I live in Moseley, but I come from Eastbourne on the south coast. So I've lived in Birmingham for the last 35 years. It goes back to 2008, really. And in 2008, I met a bloke called Andy. He was talking about a ukulele group that he was playing with in Hull, the Hull ukulele group. And we used to talk about this quite a lot, and it sounded sort of interesting. And I remember talking to Emma and talking about the ukulele group Andy played in, and Emma bought me a ukulele for Christmas in, I think it was Christmas of 2008. And I was quite excited about this, tried to play it, didn't get anywhere with it, and then it sat on a shelf for most of 2009. And sort of towards the end of 2009, I thought, I need to try and get some people together, because it's only with other people that I'm actually going to learn how to play this thing. And I just thought it was motivation, really. It's easier to do things with other people than just try and do something on your own. And I thought they would drive me to actually do something, and it did work. So started talking to people on Twitter and said, if I booked a room, how many people would turn up with ukuleles and we'll sit down and play songs? And it actually seemed to be a lot more popular than I thought it would be. We ended up with 15 people. And then at the beginning of 2010, we booked a room down at the Moseley CDT. I told all these people, turn up, we're going to play a load of songs. And that's when Moselele started. Oh, we like you, I can be sure. Obviously, as she does, we are strange in our fun, we are young. It was going to be the Moseley ukulele group, and I bumped into my friend Kim at the Crossroads in Moseley and said, I'm setting up a ukulele group in Moseley. And he said, well, you're going to call it Moselele, aren't you? And I thought, I'm having that.
I'm stealing it.
Yeah, so I didn't think of that. That was just a thing that was randomly given to me by a passerby. Then we found out there was actually already a ukulele group in Moseley that we just never noticed before. So we just set another one up that was parallel to them. Obviously, this is going back now 15 years. We know a lot about the ukulele world now and been very embroiled in them. One of the things we'd always had with the group was a bit of a challenge that people would buy the cheapest ukulele they could find and they would turn up and none of them would ever stay in tune. And I thought what we could do is maybe make a ukulele that we are confident will stay in tune and price it as cheaply as possible. Also sort of recognising a little bit cynically that there's a lot of environmental consciousness within Moseley. I wanted this ukulele to be made out of bamboo. But I spoke to Simon Fu, who I met at this instrument manufacturing company, and talked to him about what I wanted this ukulele to be like. They built me a prototype, they sent it over, and I thought, I really like this. We thought we could sell these for about 60 quid. This is what people were willing to spend to get an instrument that stayed in tune. So I got him to make me 50, and we sent those out into the world. There's a few people who review ukuleles, and I asked them to just have a look at them, see what they thought. They really liked them. And then they started going on eBay, then bought some more, and over 3 years we sold 10,000 of them. It paid our mortgage for a couple of years, but it's also the other strange thing that people will get in touch and say, I've got this ukulele that someone found and it's got our logo in there, and people are always getting in touch saying, where can I get these from?
This time of the year, 10 years ago, we would have been absolutely swamped and we wouldn't have been up to speak to you because we'd have been packaging, we'd have been wrapping up ukuleles for Christmas.
Yeah.
The whole reason that they sold well and that people wanted them was because it was a true story, and we did it because it was needed by our members, and we were able to market it on the back of, we've created these ukuleles because we know what ukulele groups want, and that's why people went for it. We were surprised when the first one came over and we were like, oh, actually, this is a proper musical instrument.
And I suppose one of the things that makes us different to a lot of the other ukulele groups you ever go to, you'll just see a lot of people sitting around the room playing ukuleles that are branded with the name of the ukulele group. I think there's an element of uniqueness to that. So the bamboo ukulele was my gift to the world. The number of people that I've met and built really sort of strong friendships with has been quite astounding, really. And people from so many different ages. And I can't think of another thing I could have done in life that could have introduced me to such a wide variety of people from different backgrounds and different interests. I think it was a little bit of something of the time when we started doing this. There was a lot of hype around ukuleles and them being learnt in school, and there were people that were particularly interested in it. So we hit at exactly the right time. But also, I think there are people just looking to socialise, and they need a vehicle to socialise with other people. We talk a lot about sort of how isolated people are in society at the moment, and they talk about how you bring people together. Yeah. People need a reason to come together, and this is a low barrier thing you can take part in. It's not a difficult instrument to play. Obviously, we focus on the singing more than anything else. What we're really interested in doing is, what are the songs you like listening to? We will work them out and you can come along and sing them. So if it's a Cure song you want to play, we'll give it a go. Because, we're passionate about trying to play the songs that we know and love. So we do practice quite a lot. So we play these songs week in, week out. But also we've been really, really lucky in finding strong singers. The ukulele is an excuse. It really is. So we started off in Pat Kavanagh's in the room upstairs there. We then moved to the smaller room in the Prince, and then the beer garden. These are different sized rooms and different amounts of people turn up, but also the people who come along have ebbed and flowed over the years. So there's not many people that were there 15 years ago. But the Prince has always been our sort of spiritual home. And we spoke to them and they said, yeah, come back. We'd really like to host you here. So we do get over 30 people in a very small room all strumming together, so it gets hot. It's really important to stress that all of this is not a performance for anybody, it is a participative experience. So we want to make sure that nobody there feels self-conscious that someone's watching them, that you can shout as loud as you want, you can play as badly as you want, and no one will ever know it. So it's just making sure that people are participating in some form. But one of the things, we do play more complicated songs than a lot of other groups. But just play the bits you can. Join back in again when you can. Don't worry about it. No one can hear you. So we've had people from all over the world come to visit us, from Malaysia, from the US, just because they've heard about sort of what a great night is. I think they've obviously been in the country for other reasons. I don't think they've travelled here specifically to visit Moseley on a cold Thursday afternoon. There's so many of the people that we see week to week, sort of socially, that I know through them originally coming to the ukulele group. We've built some really strong relationships with people over the years. So we've got about 700 songs that we could just pick any one of those and sit and play.
If there's a lot of new people there, then we'll do simple songs to start with, songs that have just got 2 or 3, 4 chords in. If we get there at 8 o'clock and there's a bunch of regulars that have been coming for 10 years with lots of good singers in, then we can start at a higher level. But most of the time it just depends what mood we're in, doesn't it? So some nights we get down on a sort of 90s indie night, it ends up being, or girl bands. Sometimes we end up doing loads of those in a row, or hair metal. Is that even a genre? It's more like, in the olden days, and there'd be an old piano in the pub corner, and then somebody would start plinky-plonking on the old piano, and everybody would join in singing. That's more of the feel of it. It's not for an audience. We're not performing. We're just having a laugh.
You're socialising.
Social singing.
It's been 15 years. There's been ups and downs. Points where I've thought, I can't be bothered doing this anymore. And sometimes it'll turn up and it'll be a lot of people that don't fancy singing, that just want to plod away at 3/4 songs. Other nights it just goes off and everybody's there, enthusiastic, and it's very different. But that's just having done this hundreds of times, that's what it's always going to be like.